welcome to Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, KG, and with me is the wrestling enthusiast, Mark. What's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot, man. It's kind of rainy, but
Yep,
it's
yep.
better than snow.
Absolutely. So we are doing the recap for AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, and I'll tell you that it was a decent show. We was talking about it a little bit. I do agree with you. My only issue with the show was that this was a go home show, and even though it was a decent show, it did nothing to excite me for the All Out pay per view coming Saturday.
Okay, I think you're getting a little stiff on some of the stuff because, yeah, overall it probably didn't excite me, but there were highlights that I liked. Take for example the contract signing of Page and Fletcher. The stipulation I loved.
Mhm.
Any involvement from Don Callis or his group, Fletcher will be stripped of his TNT belt.
Right.
I thought that was a great stipulation.
And I agree with you, but the thing that it for myself, I can't speak for other people. For myself, that I want from these go home shows to get me excited about the pay per view is you get me excited about the entire pay per view, not just one match. I want to be excited about all of the show, and they just didn't do that for me last night.
Well, again, we've talked about this and what they lack in today's um, environment, I guess, is you don't have that cliffhanger.
Right?
You know,
Exactly.
um, when WCW took over for 83 weeks, whatnot, almost every week you were like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen next? Oh my God, what's going to
Yep.
happen next?" Now, granted, we didn't have the internet to spoil it for us, you
Right.
know, but you definitely shut off the show or whatever, or flip the channel to the next wrestling show, and you were like, "Fuck!" And I bet you 15, 20 minutes into the next show, you're still pondering what was going to happen at WCW next week.
Right. And the thing is, and since you brought up already about the contract signing, the thing that confused me was this. The end of that segment, we had Kyle Fletcher telling Hangman Adam Page that he promised that he would not be leaving tonight with his own 2 feet. And then nothing happened. Like I was expecting there to cut into some type of a fight backstage, something based upon those comments, and then just nothing.
It happened at the end of the show that cut out.
But well, then that talks about the production of the show. Why would they do that at the end of the show when no one's watching except for the live, except for the fans that were live there?
Did you watch it on HBO Max or TBS?
HBO Max.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it cut out on HBO Max. Really?
Yep. So it cut off and it went directly to this 3 minute commercial, this blank screen that just said HBO Max with some weird music with the don't forget to whatever subscribe or whatever word they were using, or don't forget to watch on HBO Max AW All Out for
Now,
3 minutes. That was just the screen, a black screen with weird music. HBO Max.
yeah,
Watch the
that's
pay per
piss poor
view.
marketing.
Right.
Um, so HBO Max is carrying this one this weekend.
It is. If there's a discount, let me tell you the discount. $10.
Yeah, but I thought the whole thing with them going with whoever they were going with the last I don't know fucking year was because HBO didn't have the capacity to run the pay per views.
Well, apparently they do now because this will be the first one they've been advertising a lot. Even on the show, you must have missed it. They advertised for HBO Max. That's what I'm going to go through. $10 is $10, I guess. But yeah, and the thing is that AEW has been using so many different
Platforms.
subscribers or platforms to do their pay per views. I mean, for a while it was done on I can't remember.
Prime.
Well, before Prime, it was this other platform that they used. Then, without any announcements, or at least I missed the announcements, and I watch AEW every week. I do wrestling news. I didn't see any of it. You were over at the house, whatever. I'm like, well, what the hell? Why isn't AEW on this? And then we figured out that last minute it was on Prime. Um, So we had to go through that in the past, I don't know what, 3 or 4 pay-per-views has been Prime, and now it's HBO Max. Now, I am not sure. Maybe I should have looked into it. This is a wrestling podcast. If they're still doing Prime as well, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is a contract where now they have to be exclusively on HBO Max for the pay-per-views. I don't know, man.
Kurt just message. When's the podcast? We're on right now. Join in. I said. He goes, I'm naked as a jeeper. I just got out of the shower.
Jesus Christ.
I hope he gets dressed because that's a visual I don't want.
Yeah. No. And another vision or a phrase that I don't want you to ever say again when we're talking about AEW is, I think you're getting stiff on the show. No, man, I'm not getting stiff while watching any professional wrestling shows.
Well, you're right. Every match should get you involved in towards the pay-per-view, but you
Right.
know, I think for the most part, if you can get interested in the main event, that's probably the biggest thing they want to draw you in for.
I don't know how many people want to spend that money just for one match. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I completely understand that AEW programming does not revolve around the world of Kevin, right? I completely understand that other people might be excited about other matches. My issue is this, though. Even if it's a match that I am not as interested in, I at least want to be like, you know what? Because of how good AEW's pay-per-view is, and because that, just because I am not excited about this match, at least make me anticipate the possible the possible what's what I'm ready for. At least get me excited to think about, well, this match may be exciting. I may get into it just because of how damn good the pay-per-views are always, right? Just wasn't there. And again, regardless, even if I wasn't excited about the main event, I would still be getting it because and I'm going to say this is a fact because I believe this is a fact. The fact of the matter is that there has not been one AEW pay-per-view that I've walked away from feeling like I just wasted 50 or 60 bucks, whatever it is, of my money to watch it. Never been a time. Sure, there are some that's better than others, but that's just life. Go ahead.
There was one that we were kind of disappointed in, and then I think the final match came on and redeemed it. I can't remember which one it was. I
Yeah,
think it was like
so it was actually
five, 6
it,
6
it
months ago.
was the second to last match, and that was actually the match of the cage match with Fletcher and Will Ospreay. That we were like, holy shit,
Yeah, yep, that
this
could have been
match made this pay-per-view 100%. I think the biggest thing that we said that we were disappointed in was the fact that the main event wasn't nearly as good as the match right before it. It should have been switched up, in our opinion. But I think that was our biggest complaint. If I'm not mistaken, that was the main event was Dean Ambrose. Where the fuck that came from? It was John Moxley versus was it Daniel Bryan?
Might have been, but even that was halfway decent because Brian Daniel was the champion and Mox took the belt.
Right. So you're right. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was a good match, but because of how damn good the Ospreay
Yep.
and
Fletcher,
Fletcher match was,
it outshadowed it.
yeah, that match was a match that I would be willing to say I don't care who was in the next match to follow.
Yep.
That was something hard to follow. They
Right.
stole that show.
Now, with that being said, how many times have we bitched about seeing the same old two wrestlers facing each other at a pay per view or whatever? You know, Brock and Cena. Now, granted, yeah, I still want to see this just because it's Brock and
Mhm.
Cena. Randy Orton and whoever else, because Randy Orton's faced everybody and their brother multiple times. You know, but the fact that you got Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher, I don't think these two have ever faced off really.
Right, and I agree, and that's why I'm looking forward to this match. But even the match we're talking about with Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, yes, we've seen these matches in other forms, and other promotions, but we've never really seen a whole lot of matches between Fletcher and Ospreay at AEW. So I did consider that somewhat of a newest type of a match because it was the cage match, and we haven't been exposed to them in AEW as we have in other shows. But it was a fantastic match. And look, again, I'm looking forward to Saturday night's main event. The on AEW, the All Out, their main event, not to be confused with Saturday night main event WWE, right? I am even looking forward to that. I'm even looking forward to the match with MJF
And Briscoe. Yep.
and Briscoe, right? I think that match has the possibility of stealing the show. I really do, because there is so much raw emotion in this storyline that initially I wasn't that invested. I'm definitely invested in this, in this match, in this storyline currently.
Right, because Briscoe, like it or not, believe it or not, can actually wrestle, and
Yes,
MGF can definitely wrestle, and he can go into that brawler state in a moment's notice.
right,
I expect this one to be a bloody match. To be honest, it'd be
right.
a question of, oh hey, Jake, naked as a Jaybird.
Yep. But this is, well, hold on a second. Another match that has now drawn me in that I have no interest in seeing is the match with Tony Storm. Now, believe it or not, as much as I like Tony Storm, she started to get stale on me. But last night's fucking her promo that she did last night had me just laughing in tears that she automatically drew me back in. And we'll talk about that. Let's welcome a man who is still alive. He's kind of like he's kind of like a venereal disease. Right when you think you get rid of him, he's back. And of course,
He's
we're
back.
talking about JT Stars, man. We missed you. How are you doing?
Doing as best as I can, man. Doing what I
Well,
can.
and
Paisley's
I
here
do
with
want
me.
to
She's worried
share.
about me.
I do want to share some positive news about you.
Yes.
And this
Yes.
is that involves the stem cell stuff that
Yes.
you are now been approved to be on. Talk about that for a second, and congratulations. This is huge. And
Thank you, guys.
I really, really hope this works for you, because
Me too.
as annoying and as much as I want to shake you sometimes, we've come to love you here on Get Your Bell Rung.
Right.
So, but talk about the great news
Right.
about stem cells that they're going to be doing.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So I am going to be starting with. Sorry, my other dog's in the background. I got the door closed. So I'm going to be starting stem cell therapy. I'm also going to be starting ketamine treatments or therapy to help with pain management.
Mm-hmm.
These are all things that other athletes are going overseas to do, going to Mexico, Brazil. Obviously, you can do it now in the U.S. There's places you can go and do. Ohio State here and UC actually does it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of me being disabled, I'm not embarrassed to say, but I am on Medicaid. And I just got lucky enough that the Medicaid that I chose actually allows for stem cell therapy, and so they cover it 100%. So that was a blessing right there, because otherwise I didn't know what I was going to do. That
Right
was my
now,
only route. Otherwise, I was just going to quit. Period.
so you said that you're going through ketamine therapy.
Yeah, I'm going to be going through that. I'm going to
Right.
start that. I've
So
been
let me say this about
investigating that.
ketamine. Let me say something about ketamine. Although there is no silver lining about someone facing what you're facing, and that you possibly losing your life, right? Because of the things you're
Right.
dealing with. But if there was a silver lining, you lucky son of a bitch. If people don't know, ketamine is one of the main ingredients in ecstasy, which means that our boy
Oh,
J.
I didn't know
Storm
that.
might be feeling pretty damn good Yeah. Ketamine is one of the main ingredients of
We'll
that.
see. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know it's under. I mean, it's under doctor's care, obviously. So
Right.
it's not like because they do have. I think Ohio does have like these ketamine therapy places that do vitamin
Right.
IVs and all that. But I'm doing it through a legit, like it's through
Doc.
my PCT's
Right. And
practice.
and
So I
obviously
don't.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It obviously makes sense because that's safer for you. But congratulations, man. I was so
Thank you.
thrilled
Thank you.
when I
Yeah.
heard that. My when you sent out the message, and I've been knowing that this was part of what you've been dealing with because you and I talked. Obviously, I didn't want to announce to the world
Right.
what you. But when you
Right.
sent me the text
But I.
message, but hold on, when you sent me that text message, I was sitting in my recliner next to my wife, and I got this big ass smile on my face, and she was like, "Who are you talking to that makes you smile that big?" I went, "Man, JT just got approved. I am so happy about that." So
Yeah,
that's
I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys took me in, like, I don't know. I don't know why you guys took me in and stuff, but I'm glad to be a part of this team. I'm sorry I haven't been as active as I first started.
no apologies, man.
I'm just going through a lot,
Right,
a
and
lot, and
your health comes
the
first,
other
man.
thing, yeah,
Your health comes
yeah.
first. And to answer your question about why we latched onto you and made you part of this team, I don't want to burst your bubble. It wasn't because I thought you were special. It's not because I thought you were terrific. How the fuck do you tell a dying man that you don't
No
want him to be
shit.
part of a team?
No
I mean,
shit. No shit. Dude, you're gonna be dead in
Right.
6 months to a year. Fuck you. We don't need you. No, man.
Right.
You help a guy out and you make him feel good
No.
about himself.
Right. No, I love you guys. You guys are fun, man. You guys have all kept in contact with me, let me know what's going on and reaching out and just like everybody else. And it means the world. I'm not trying to ghost people. I'm just one of those when I'm sick.
right.
I don't answer my phone even. Like my wife will say, I don't even answer her phone calls.
Yep.
I keep my ringer off. I don't want to be bothered.
Right.
Here recently, between my health, but I also kept this private, but I'm willing to let it out now. So when I first started with this journey with my terminal illness, I was going through pain management, and I was on oxycodone 10s, 2 every 6 hours, and then hospice took over, and they took me off of that. Um, and put me on fentanyl, like the heavy dose one, the 75. And I didn't even want to go on it, but I felt like pressured. So I went ahead and did it. Didn't like it. So the past 2.5 weeks, I haven't been online a whole lot or very vocal because I have actually asked myself to be weaned off of it. As soon as I got off of hospice care, I'm in what they
Right.
call palliative care now, and which means I can go out and go wherever I want to try to further my life if I want to. But anyways, long story short, um, it was hard getting off that fentanyl. I'm back on oxycodone. I'm only on fives right now. It's really hard. It's like taking an aspirin until I see my doctor on Monday.
Right.
Then we're gonna discuss getting me back on what I was on. But I'm glad I'm off that fentanyl. Anybody that gets sick terminally or anything, do not let them talk you into getting on that stuff because it's not worth it. Those patches, they're only good for 3 days. And if your doctor is not, if their office like mine was horrible, I went 3 days sometimes without my refill because of the office failing. So my body, after the first 24 hours, started going through withdrawal and
Right.
fentanyl withdrawal. I've never been through withdrawal because I was never a drug addict or anything.
Right.
So I've never gone through withdrawal. That was my first time, and I don't ever want to go through that again.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I finally told them, I said, I want off this stuff. And, and you guys are taking a week and a half to get my script. So I have to go to the hospital, to the ER. They got to give me a patch to last for 3 days. And my script still ain't ready or done. You guys still are sitting on your ass. And I got to go back to the ER again,
Right.
and get another patch, and I just got tired of it. And so I weaned myself off personally off of it for the past 2.5 weeks. I've never been an addictive personality or anything, drinking or nothing. So for me, I can quit anything cold turkey.
Right.
And the fentanyl, I did have to wing off of that.
So a couple of things, and then we'll get to the show.
Yeah.
But I'm disabled. A lot of people don't know this about myself. My spinal cord is
Right.
really messed up from an accident, and
Yep.
I've been on medications, right? And I know that whenever I decided I didn't want to be on this medicine, the withdrawal that I went through was terrible. And the thing is that type of withdrawal won't even compare to the withdrawals of fentanyl. So, brother, I feel you there.
Yeah.
Would it be awesome that since you are doing this stem cell stuff to hopefully heal your body, it would be awesome if your fucking leg grew back as well. Wouldn't that be cool?
Now well, I'm hoping one of my two legs grow back. So
Right.
I'm hoping the kickstand grows back too, more than the other leg.
Let's get to Dynamite
Yes.
review.
What match are you guys on? What
We
match
haven't
are you guys
started
on?
really.
We haven't
even
started
Not
tonight.
okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
'Cause I got to talk about. I can't wait till we get to the one that I'm freaking in love with. Can't wait to talk about it. Go ahead.
I'm just
Sorry, guys. I'm
thinking
excited.
20, 30 years, 20, 30 years, they could probably just cologne another Kurt and just drop his brain in the cologne.
Right.
Unfortunately, you ain't
Oh,
got
guys,
20,
I
30
did.
years.
Hey, Landry, without you getting mad, can I say one more thing? This is awesome news I got today too. So you know how I work for Armbar Pro Wrestling and stuff, and I help with the talent and all that. So I got Bo Bodacious, the original Bodacious, who I went to school with, contacted me today, and he wants me more involved. And they're going to be opening up a school, and they want me as a coach.
That's awesome.
So not only am I going to be a coach, they want me more involved behind the scenes with vetting talent. I'm basically going to be totally in charge of talent relations, as in the hiring. Who I feel I'm not going to do the firing; they can do that. That's their promotion. I don't want that job, but I'll tell them who I don't think is wrong. So there's a science to it.
Yep.
So
Maybe one day we can have a podcast about that. Yeah. So I'm excited about that, dude.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
So you're going to be the one that show them how a one-legged man wins an ass-kicking contest?
Yeah, so like I explained to him when we discussed this about a couple of weeks ago, when it was brought up about possibly opening up a school, because we're getting a big buzz around here. We're drawing really good. A majority of the talent is talent that I've recommended and have fully vetted and vouched for. So we have a really good talent roster. Other promotions around Dayton are noticing and are getting worried and stuff. I even had a promoter reach out to me. Matter of fact, I'll have to show it to you, Landry. It's hilarious. I have a promoter that I used to work for that wants me to come back. But I'm all about loyalty. Always have been. You show me loyalty, I show you loyalty.
Yep.
So
but I forgot. I just wanted to give you guys that good news because it's something I've always wanted.
So you're in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
So aren't you competing directly against Ohio Valley Wrestling?
They're actually in Kentucky.
No. Yeah, they're actually in Kentucky, which is fun. They call it Ohio Valley just because it's the tri-state. Hold on, she's trying to push the mute. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, no, OVW.
Go ahead, Mark.
OVW is actually in Kentucky. It's not actually in Ohio.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, it's down there in Louisville, which is about 2 hours south of Cincinnati. I'm in Cincinnati, which is the southwestern city of the state. So it's another 2 hour drive.
As far as wrestlers go, 2 hours is a fucking hiccup.
Oh yeah, it's nothing. But I can't say we compete with them yet, but we're getting there. We own all of our stuff. We don't have loans on anything. And if you've seen my pictures of our stuff, I mean, it's top notch and professional. I've teamed up with, like I said, a longtime personal friend of mine that we've known each other since wrestling school, and we've remained the best of friends since then. and him and his partner put together something magical a year ago and almost 2 years ago, and I got to be a part. I've been a part of it from the beginning, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And even what's his name, Sammy Callahan's Revolution Pro isn't drawing as much as we are, and they're bringing in stars. So that tells you, and we have some of their talent, and it's talent that I was already booking before he booked them. So
that's awesome. I was hoping to be able to talk about my big news that we'll be talking about soon. Tonight,
are you expecting?
But hell no. But
he just looks like
I bet you.
No, I am not able to share it just yet, but pretty soon I'll be able to talk about it. Let's get to it, Mark.
All right. So we talked about the contract signing. Next, we go to Mox and Darby vignette. Then we go to Mox and Garcia to the ring. Mox takes on Roderick Strong. You know what? This match was average at best, really with two bigger names. And I think Roderick Strong is considered a bigger name. It could have been better, but it could have been a whole lot worse, I suppose.
Yeah, this was actually one of the matches I actually enjoyed. But the big question is, and I'm going to start with you, Kurt. Are you really invested in this Darby Allin and Moxley storyline?
No, I've never liked Darby Allin. I've never been a Darby Allin fan, just like I've never been an Orange Cassidy fan. I do like Mox, kind of, sort of. I wish he'd come back to WWE and they'd start the Shield again. But this just I didn't feel any magic on this, to be honest with you. From a wrestler's point of view, I didn't feel any magic in their match. I felt like they gelled together, but there was no magic. There was nothing that made me go, ooh, this could be a main event on a pay-per-view.
Right.
You know?
And this is the thing for me. And I know they've been doing this professional wrestling for years. Darby Allin and Moxley aren't the first to do this. But as much as we're supposed to suspend our disbelief, I'm sorry, guys. Whenever a storyline pretty much involves kidnapping and damn near murdering someone, I lose interest at that point because to me it just crosses just getting way ridiculous. Mark, where are you at with this?
I'm not a fan of Moxley to begin with. Whether he's Mox or Dean Ambrose, I've just never been a fan. And to be honest, if I had to choose between Dean Ambrose and Mox, I'd probably go with Dean Ambrose, or at least parts of his career as Dean Ambrose. This whole Mox thing is I don't know, the equivalent of Monet, in my opinion, a waste of my time.
Right now, now look, I will say this much. As much as I'm not invested in this storyline, just based upon the history of AEW's pay-per-views, I have no doubt that this probably, even with Moxley involved, this probably is going to be a damn good match. I really have a feeling that we're gonna be like, you know what? Storyline, taken away from it. This was a good match. I think that's what we're going to walk away saying with this particular match.
It's going to be a bloody match. Just the question: who's going to bleed first, Darby or Mox?
It's going to be
Darby.
Mox.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I'll be Darby. I think Darby's going to go through a car probably. He'll probably do that stuff again. Probably do that scene again.
So as we talk about this, let's make our predictions. So we have to come back to it about the pay-per-view. I think that Mox is definitely going to be the one to take the L. He's going to win it. I'm sorry. Mox is going to win this match. JT, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to Mox, but you never know. Yeah, I think they're probably going to give it to Mox, or else it's going to be a screw finish, like a dusty finish or something.
Yeah, Mark.
If Mox wins, it'll give
like
Darby
Allin
to keep chasing him. If Darby wins, then it pretty much ends the feud. So it's a question of do they want to end this feud or not?
Yeah. Now I'm also.
I think they need to. What they need to really do is they need to look at the meter, the audience meter, and see what the reaction is. That's how they're going to determine if they're going to further the storyline, because they will, if they're like WWE, if they get a flat reaction, they'll just cut it right then and there. And next week you'll be like, wait a minute, what just happened? Because I've seen it recently on WWE where they were
So
going to
that
start
that
storylines, and then
you're
all of a
saying
sudden they
have
just, hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
so
see
you're
what kind of magic there is building this up as they're building this up. See what kind of reaction the crowd, like, is it putting asses in the seats? If it's not, if they're getting the same 1,200, 2,000 people in an arena and giving away, 800 tickets, then
No,
I'd cut
this
that
arena,
storyline.
this is going to be, I'm not saying it's a sold out crowd, but this would be a packed crowd because it's in Canada. It seems like if AEW's
Oh
already,
yeah, yeah,
they draw.
yeah.
But
They do good up there.
I
They
am
draw good up
predicting,
there.
yep. So I am predicting that also what's going to happen is the Death Riders, they're going to turn on Yuta, which I've been calling for a while. It is going to have something to do with Daniel Garcia because now Daniel Garcia is part of the group. And I've been calling it that Daniel Garcia was going to join and turn for a couple of months now. Also, I believe this is going to, like I say, it's going to replace Yuta from being in the group. I just see that happening. And
Yeah.
with Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson, whatever the fuck you call him in AEW, with him being back, I know that he's supposed to be back just for color commentary, which, by the way, I think he's terrible as far as color commentary, but he is going to get involved in some way. Maybe not at this pay-per-view, but he's going to get involved in a storyline pretty soon. And I
They're
have
planting the seed.
it's going to be something to do with Yuta and Danielson teaming up together. I really, really do.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% because they are definitely with him doing commentary. They're definitely setting it up. I can tell you that's exactly what's going on. They're setting it up so that he gets attacked one of these things, and it's going to set up for the big thing, the big showdown.
Well, and Mark, I'll let you go
So
next.
I agree with you.
Is that the Death Riders, possibly at this pay-per-view, they're going to, when they turn on Yuta, he's going to be getting a beat down, and Daniel Bryanson is going to run in the ring to actually help Yuta because of the close friendship that they used to have.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead, Mark.
all right. So next we go to a vignette of Briscoe and MJF.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to rehash on this one because you guys have pretty much done and said everything you could do and say to each other so far.
Yeah, so was this a fresh vignette or was this the recap of the vignette from last week? I think it was from last week.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and
I didn't watch last week.
I know because whenever I was watching this vignette, you remember I told you when we did the recap last week that MJF definitely that particular promo he was cutting reminded me of Ric Flair.
Yep.
It was at the end of the very the by God that he used, that was very intense. That's what reminded me of the Flair promos that Flair used to do.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can get as animated as Flair at times.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So next we go to Tola Leona versus Bobby Lashley. Actually, I kind of like this match.
I do.
This is the one. This is the one.
So, a couple of things I enjoy the match as well, but I've always looked at whatever his name. What's his name again? Leona.
Hold on. Toa Leona.
Yeah, Toa. I've always looked at
Leona.
Toa as this really big guy that was in shape, muscular. But I tell you, him being in the ring with Bobby Lashley kind of exposed the Toa's his physical shape. It was not as good as what I thought it was. He had a good bit of belly fat on him that you never really noticed. But because he was in the ring with someone like Bobby Lashley, it was really noticeable. And look, I actually thought that we were going to see Bobby Lashley take the first pin since he's been with AEW, but he didn't. But yeah, this was a good match. But I thought Bobby Lashley has been in more singles matches at AEW than he has. He's only been in. This was only his 5th one.
Oh, I would have said
He's
his
a Brock
third one.
Lesnar. No, he's a Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. But yeah, I
No,
enjoyed this.
this was the match. Yeah, this was the match I was excited about because, as you know, whenever I do help as a coach or a trainer, I work with the women and I work with the big guys. And so I always like the big guy matches. And like you guys remember, I liked at first the Rusev and what's his
Sheamus.
name? Sheamus little thing, just because they're both big beasts and stuff, and they're hard hitters. They're snug like I am, and I like that kind of stuff. So seeing these two go at it reminded me of that, and that's the kind of stuff I like to see. That's the kind of stuff I get excited about. I'm tired of seeing these little 200-pound guys flying around. Yeah, they're great if they're like Ric Flair and MJF and them, but I like seeing big guys like this that put on a good show that suspends your belief. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he picked that dude up, and stuff like that.
Well, I tell you what, my favorite part of this match was seeing MVP get as physical as he did last night. If there was any doubt
Yeah.
if MVP could actually still go, that doubt should have disappeared from everybody's minds last night because he got involved. It was very physical, and he looked good. He really did.
He still does. He still goes to independent shows. He's booked on independent shows all the time. He goes down. Matter of fact, my good friends down there at Memphis Championship Wrestling, has been down there recently, made an appearance, and got in the ring. So I mean, he's definitely been keeping in shape, and he's still, he's a good teacher. He's a good coach and a good teacher too.
Yep.
A lot of knowledge. You never think it. I never thought it until once he stopped active duty and started doing stuff behind the scene. I was like, wow, he's actually got a mind for this business.
Yep. Mark, what your thoughts on it?
Anytime anybody gets in the ring with a suit on, just walking around a suit is difficult sometimes. But when you're throwing people around with the suit on, I'm impressed.
Right. Now, this is my question, though. MVP walks around with a cane, right? Is this part of his gimmick, or does he legit need this take? Right. That's what I was thinking. There's no way that if he had some type of an injury that was permanent, that he needed the cane to walk, that he'd be able to move like he was moving last night.
It's
right. Or getting in the ring still.
Right.
It's his Jim Cornette tennis racket.
Yeah. Well, it's his.
There you go.
It is his Bob Orton cast.
Yes, there you go.
Basically.
With Ted DiBiase, just glove thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And he did break that cane over Ricochet's back, I guess.
Yeah, right. I love Ricochet, dude. He's like one of the coolest and nicest, like kindest people you would ever meet. Like seriously, if you guys ever get a chance to run into him at a convention or anything, dude, he is the most humble, honest, sincere, caring, just everything, dude. He's just an awesome dude.
Well,
he truly is.
Rickett, my respect level as a performer went up a lot since he's been with AEW. It really has.
Really?
Well,
I loved him in WWE.
It wasn't that I thought that he was bad with WWE, but WWE
it's just that they held him down.
Right. They weren't using him properly. His talent and what he could do has really shined more since he's been with AEW, which, yes, that led me to even have more respect and appreciate how good he actually is.
Nobody can argue this with me, but he is at the same level as AJ Styles, but WWE uses AJ Styles properly, and they misused Ricochet because Ricochet could have been a star too. Maybe not a main eventer, but he definitely could have been Intercontinental Champion or US for a long period. Yeah. But I'm glad he left. He made the right choice.
Yeah,
he definitely made it, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for saying, you know what, it's time to walk away, and he did it with his head up, with his pride and his head up.
Right. Mark.
So I'm proud of him for that.
To be honest, he's probably he's probably God. It's hard to say this.
Oh, don't
He's
say more
better on the
talented
mic
AJ.
now than he was in WWE. His
Yes,
wrestling
I'll
ability,
give you
yeah,
that.
he's not far off AJ Styles. I think he's still on the little thin side. He's one of the guys that needs 10, 15 pounds to bulk up. All right, which would hinder maybe some of his wrestling finesse. All right,
Well, he's in
but
his 40s now, too. You got to remember that. I mean, he's
yeah,
like
good point.
mid 42, 43.
Well,
So, I mean, your body's. I mean, look at my boy Beto. If you looked at my boy Beto right now, he's cut, but he's not as bulky and as big as he used to be,
Right.
but he's cut. But if you looked at him, his body looks smaller. And I think the same thing with Ricochet, because Ricochet used to be built like AJ when he was with TNA. I remember those days, and when he
Well,
came to
yeah,
NXT.
even when he was with Lucha Underground, he was
Yeah, yeah,
bigger. Yep.
yep. That reminds me of my boy, El Muertos. That's my boy.
Yep.
no,
Well,
I think as far as ability, he's maybe not AJ level, but he's not too far behind.
yeah.
You
Yep.
know, so
Yeah.
all right,
Well, I'm
so let's
glad he's.
see.
I'm sorry. I'm just glad he's finally getting the shine, though. Sorry to put that in there. I just had to because he's deserved it.
Oh, I
Right.
like who they teamed him up with. I think the Gates of Agony have always been a team that they could have
I
utilized better, and I think this is a good pairing between the three of them.
100% agree.
Hmm.
100.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Go
it's
ahead.
beneficial for both sides.
Yep. I agree.
So, all right. So next we go to Edge and Christian to the ring, with FTR
Yeah.
soon to follow. And to me, this just got to be, whose dick is bigger,
Right.
scenario.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it looked like Christian really made contact with the face of what's the bout one? His name.
Dax.
I think he really made contact with Dax's nose because his nose was crooked and blood was literally spilling out of his nose when he got after the ring. I was like,
Uh,
ooh, that was a
Someone's
hit.
Haters
someone's gonna get a
happen.
receipt on
Haters
Saturday.
happen. No, 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 no. Not when it comes to Edge. You don't give receipts to guys like that. That's a no-no in the business. You'll
No,
be
it
out
was
of that locker room
Christian.
quick in your head, man.
It was Christian that hit him. It
It
was
was
Christian
Christian
that hit
Oh,
him.
though.
I mean, Chris. Yeah, it doesn't matter who. If you a guy like that compared to somebody like Dax, they'll be out of the locker room if they were to give a receipt back. That's a
No,
no-no in the
I don't even
business.
think that. Look, I don't even think it's that. I think that these
It was an
guys
accident. It
are.
was an
I
accident.
think that these guys are so professional and they've been in the business long enough that their ego doesn't get the best of them by wanting to hand out a receipt type of a thing.
I've seen now. I have seen on some instances where you can see where the talent gets aggravated because there was a blotch or something, and it's usually the guys that are really pumped up, the guys that are jacked up guys. I'm not saying it's anything illegal at all because the guys ain't doing that stuff now, pretty much nowadays. But it's just the fact that they're just always so high strung. And I know myself personally, when I was in the ring, I would get carried away sometimes. You just your adrenaline's going so much, and you're what people don't realize outside the business when you're in the ring. Bob can attest to this. Your mind is constantly thinking because you're thinking 3, 4 moves ahead. If you didn't call anything in the back and you're in the ring calling it, like you have to think 3, 4 moves ahead. Plus, you're listening to the fans. Plus,
Right.
you're listening to your opponent. He's calling stuff. You've got so much going on, and if one little person taters you, like even if sometimes you get carried away
Yeah,
or and
but
stuff.
these people are not that you're speaking of. They're not on the level of
Right,
um
they're above me, but it's just the fact
right.
that I'm telling you, old
They're
school
not on the level
days.
of Christian and Edge and as well as
Right,
FTR, right? These guys are on another
right.
level. They are definitely two of the best tag teams, not just now, but in the history
In a
of
while,
and I think because they are on that level, because of how professional they are, And there, look, I've heard pro wrestlers that said that they prefer to actually be hit because these type of accidents, it actually
Yep.
elevates the storyline as well. So,
Yep. And that's why I always work snug. For one, the believability. I want to suspend the belief of the fans. If somebody does one of your little knee slap punch things to me and it doesn't connect, I don't sell it. Like I don't.
right,
And then I used to let the fans yell the "you effed up" stuff. Not to me. They were saying it to him.
yeah,
Because fans are smart. They know. And I'm the type. I always tell people before I go up to the ring. I always told them I work snug. It's okay if you hit me. If you don't hit me, I'm not going to sell it.
right, right.
And that's just how it is.
Yep,
So,
yep.
but no, that was good. It was an accident. It happened, and you know what? It does further the storyline.
Yeah, yep, it does. All right, Mark.
So
And
next we got an interview with Renee Paquette and the Young Bucks living their best life with the $500,000 they won last week.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm so
Um,
tired of the Young Bucks. They just die already or retire.
yeah, look, people accuse the. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the fuck's going on my camera. Um, People have accused the Young Bucks of being these egomaniacs, stuff like that, and the current storyline they're in. They've proved, as far as I'm concerned, that they are professionals. They're not these big egomaniacs because they've made themselves really look silly in a good way, which they were supposed to be, right? With the storyline of them not being EVPs anymore and how they just kind of became nothing. So I mean, I appreciate the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
All right, so then next we go to a
Next.
match of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks versus Austin Colt? No.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I can't remember
the
the name.
Austin
Guns.
Gunn and Juice Robbins versus the
Right,
Bucks.
That's right.
right. Yep. And I enjoyed this match. It's good to see Arch Robinson in the ring. I thought it was a good match. I did not expect that the Guns would. I mean, the Young Bucks. I not for one second did I think that they were going to lose the match, but nonetheless, it was a decent match. Mark, what was your take, and did you enjoy this match?
I enjoyed it. Is it me or is Austin seemed bigger than he did 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
He's definitely getting size. You know, he has the same build of his dad. He's not as tall, but he has the same stocky build that his dad has.
Yeah.
I'm sure his dad's teaching him a thing or two about weightlifting. His dad's a gym freak.
Yep.
You think? At 60, he's got a phenomenal body.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. Billy's a big, 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 big gym freak.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, the Bucks get the win. And, yeah, I was kind of hoping that Juice and Austin would get the win, but they didn't. All right. So, next we go to Beast Mortos versus Dorada.
Yep.
This match I could have done without. It was a decent match, but just Dorada I've seen maybe twice before, and the Beast Mortai or whatever,
Right.
it just doesn't excite me.
Yep.
And and,
It was
and
an intermission.
oddly enough, I enjoyed him more 2 years ago than I have currently.
Right. So it was the after the match
Right.
that made me interested, which was Takeshita and the Rain Man kind of facing off. It seems like there's going to be problems with the Don Callis family between these two. I'm expecting that Takeshita is going to be the one that's going to be more of the baby face than the Rainmaker. Once they get into their own program.
Yeah. Yeah. And by all rights, that's gonna be the next Kyle Fletcher and Omega or Will Ospreay
Also,
match.
right.
But it will get the credit it deserves because they're Japanese wrestlers.
Yep.
Yep.
But it'll be a hell of a match.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
I agree
so
with
then
that.
Um. Oh, okay. Next we go to Tony Storm and her. Um.
Promo.
Yeah, promo. There we go. And while you said you enjoyed this because it reinvigorated you with Tony, me on the other hand, it kind of backtracked me because while I've enjoyed her snarky comments and her innuendos and whatnot, to me it's kind of getting old.
I don't know,
Right?
man. When she said to trim your butchers, bitches, that just made me laugh. I busted
Yeah,
out
yeah. I
laughing.
mean, but I mean,
I love it.
the whole tramp and champ, I've heard that before, and slut with a
I
butt or
love it.
whatever, Um, so I mean, some of her verbiage is getting kind of worn out, but then she comes up with something catchy again.
Right, right.
Don't get me wrong,
Now,
I enjoy Tony Storm. I really do. I enjoy her mic skills. I enjoy her in the ring.
as
But
far as the match goes, that's going to happen at All Out. You know, people I'm sure are going to disagree with me, but I think that this match has the potential to be the worst match of the night.
it'll still be a good match. It just
It'll
won't
still be a
be
good match.
Did
It
you
as
won't
good.
be terrible, but if you're
did you
comparing the matches about who's the best match of the night or the worst match of the night, I think
did you
that
just
match is going to
did
possibly
you
be the worst match.
I was gonna say, did you just say the worst?
Yeah, absolutely. Compared to all the
That is
matches,
great.
I think that this is going to possibly be the worst match of the night. Again, not that it's bad, but you always have your best match and the worst match. And now, in your regular shows or your PLEs or pay per views, I think that
All right.
this one might just be one of the worst.
And it could still be a
Huh.
B+ match. It's just
Right,
not, you know,
right,
it's just not going to match up to the other matches.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yep,
I don't know.
yep,
We'll see.
yep.
So next we go to Tekla versus Queen Amanada. This is a match that we've seen once or twice already. So really, these guys aren't going to put on anything new, per se. But I always enjoy these two facing off because whether it's a storyline or there's some legitimacy, they always act like they've got some serious heat between these two.
Right. Now, this was the main event, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And that's the thing that got me. The fact that this was the
No, it's
main
not actually. Sorry.
Okay. It's a match, like you said, it was what it was. We've seen the match before. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was, I guess, average.
What do you guys think of that Queen? I always pronounce it wrong.
Amanada.
Altamada or something.
Amanada, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Amanada.
think that over the past year or two, she has greatly improved. I think if booked correctly, she could really be a
Be a
pretty big
star.
star in the women's division.
I
Oh yeah.
have. I'll have to find the pictures. So when I 6 years ago, when I was a trainer for Ascend Pro Wrestling here in Cincinnati, we brought her in when she first started in the business, and I was very impressed with her. Uh, I felt she needed more seasoning, but at the time, I was like, this
Right.
girl's going to be something one day. And then 4 years down the road, like 2 years ago, I see her on AEW, and I'm like, wait a minute, she used to be on our shows, and
Right.
she really has improved. Every time I see her, she's getting better. She's learning the game finally, really good, picking it up, and
Right.
you know, I'm proud of her.
Yep.
So
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Mark.
I think she's come great strides, and I don't see any reason why she couldn't be a world champion in the next year or two. To be
Right.
honest,
yeah,
Yep. Yep. I agree
like
with
my
that.
boy,
it's
like
nice
my
to see
boy.
that.
Go ahead, Mark.
It's nice to see that the dues that she's paid are paying off.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep. All right. Next match.
Well, this is where I'm kind of confused because I don't even remember it. But it was Jet Speed versus. I can't even read my writing.
So this had to be Collision at that point. Um,
I don't think so.
really, because that's what's had. It was the show cut off on HBO Max where I watched it right during the middle of the women's match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't get to. Queen out of Amadada's last thing I got to see.
Right.
Oh, yeah, all right. That explain it. So then I did get the recap show that leads up to the pay-per-view.
Right.
All right.
Yep. So yeah,
Anyway,
that
Jet Lead won the match.
yeah, who cares?
All right, yeah, right.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, other times like, but that definitely does that is our recap show of Dynamite. I would give it a B minus. I would have maybe given it a B plus if it wasn't a go home show. But it was a go home show, so I thought it should have been something more. So I'll go with B minus. JT, what would you grade this show?
Yeah, B minus C. I'm like right on the fence here.
Right, Mark.
There's
I always want to go higher than I should, but I guess I'll go with a B minus also.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt it flowed well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is the end of the recap for AEW Dynamite. Because of the both AEW pay-per-view and WWE PLE, we will not be doing the recap of Friday Night SmackDown on Saturday. We will be back. I tell you, we'll probably be back Sunday or Monday to do the recap of both PLEs and pay-per-view.
Oh, dude, you're killing me.
You'll be all right.
You want to cram 6-8 hours of wrestling in a podcast?
You'll be okay.
Oh, dude, you're killing me.
We could sum it up in an hour.
We never sum up anything in an hour.
Sure, we can.
I'll try to come out of my casket for this one.
Fair enough.
Sounds good. Until then, you guys have a great week while Mark's there sitting with his brain going, saying, "Motherfucker."
I sure did. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get writer's cramp.
You'll be okay.
Right.
Please don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. Monday, I will finally have the cooker, Bob Cook, on for an interview at 7:30 p.m. Central. So you guys make sure to join us for that. Hit the subscribe button. And until then, what's that, Mark?
You got a Carboni's out there in Blaine?
What's that?
You guys got a Carboni's pizza out there in Blaine?
In Anoka? No.
Anoka, yeah. Damn it.
Nope.
I was going to say, damn it. For this kind of work, I need a Carboni's pizza.
Maybe.
Pizza sounds good.
Not, research it. Let me know. So I'm going to eat. You guys have a great week.
All right. See you Saturday.